What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Untitled Nerd Show, your place for all the nerdiest conversations and all the nerdiest topics. I am Player 22, or, I'm AD of Player 22, alone today.
All by himself.
Well, I'm not fully alone, because as always, we're joined by Nerdy Farmer and Nerdy Wife.
Hi, guys. How you doing? And
Hi.
good morning, Mr. Soul Creek.
What's up, Soul
How
Creek?
are you doing?
So,
I think the topic we should start off with right off the bat, because I want to hear about it, because I'm not playing it yet. AD, tell us how you like Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay. This is the most two-sided thing that I've ever felt about a game ever that I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love to just enjoy the game, like the story, the atmosphere, all the music, and just enjoy the game as a story. But the combat is so fucking frustrating. So I still don't know if I actually love or hate the game.
Good morning, Gamer.
What was that?
Oh, I was saying good morning to Gamer.
Oh, what's up, Gamer?
So wait. Why do you feel that? Because I know you're a huge Final Fantasy fan, and
Yeah.
you are super looking forward to this game. So I'm actually kind of surprised to hear you say that you're.
I feel like I would have been better off playing on classic mode.
What's the difference? What's classic mode versus?
So I'm playing on normal mode, which is, I don't know, it's not really normal. I haven't really seen classic mode, or I can't really explain it much to you, but German YouTuber switched to easy because the combat annoyed him. Okay, so that's good to hear, because so classic mode, from what I've read, is that the AI will basically have control itself more, because I've told you before how the AI doesn't really do much.
Yeah, see, that's something that I think I said to you too. Like that seems weird.
Yeah.
In a game that's so recent, that the AI is so dependent upon the players seems odd.
Yeah. So but Soulcrate's comment actually makes me feel a little bit better, because I have been struggling so much with trying to find somebody who feels the same way about me, and not just thinking that maybe I just really suck that much.
Mm-hmm.
Because any review that I've seen about Final Fantasy has said that they love the battle system, and any criticisms that people have are either about the story or the ending, which has yet to be seen. But no one talks about the complexity of the battle system, and it's been a big struggle for me.
Is it the complexity of the battle system that you don't like, or is it the fact that you literally have to micromanage your companions?
It is.
That's how.
Yeah, it's kind of. I guess it's a little bit of both. So yeah, on normal, or on the newer version, not the classic difficulty that I've read, AI is dumb as shit.
Yeah, Mr. Soulkick say that. He says, I have only watched a couple of streams because of time zones, but what I have seen, your companions do nearly nothing without your input. They can stand in your way when you want to cast spells.
Yeah, so you have, okay, so the way it works is you have your basic attack. You like with Cloud, you can just slash away with your sword. But the battle system is so counterintuitive in so many ways, but one of those ways is that you can just slash away, but it's actually not what you're supposed to do, because you also have your ATB gauge, which is like your action points, that fills up over time. Fills up slowly over time. The only way to fill it up faster is by attacking. But basic attacks have almost no effect on the tougher enemies. So, where it gets counterintuitive is, you're supposed to sit back and wait for your gauge to fill up to actually use an ability or use a spell. But the only way to fill it up is to get in there and get some attacks in and risk getting hurt. So as you're trying to either wait for your gauge to fill up or get in there and risk getting hit, by the time you get your action point, you're probably going to need to use it to heal instead of being able to use a spell. So, and then the other part that's counterintuitive is the enemy does not seem to be restricted by this ATB system, because they will attack you constantly.
So it's like in DOS 2 towards the end of the game, where we had enemies just doing the same damn attack over and over and over again.
so some of the enemies, not all of them, some of them do attack kind of slowly, but some of the tougher enemies, and especially bosses, will just constantly get in your face and like combo the shit out of you. So you get into this mindset of like, oh, so this is a fast-paced battle, so I'm supposed to just hit right back, right? I'm supposed to fight, DMC style or whatever. But no, you're supposed to just sit back and play defense while the enemy wails on you until you fill up your ATB gauge to be able to use magic or whatever ability you need.
That just sounds like a broken system.
Like, and then it's like, go ahead.
I don't understand why everybody's praising the game then. And don't get me wrong, I know why people are praising it, because it's a majority of the people who are vocal about this game are fanboys, let's be clear. But you yourself could even probably be considered a card-carrying fanboy of Final Fantasy. So the fact that nobody else is really pointing out this glaring flaw in the game, where at the very least the AI is incapable of doing things without the input of the player, is kind of just weird to me, considering the fact that Dragon Age, I think all the Dragon Ages, but the most recent one, like Dragon Age Inquisition, your companions were forces to be reckoned with by themselves. They used their skills. You can set them to do certain things at certain points. You could tell them to do this, do that. Mass Effect, you could do that. So I know both those are BioWare games. I know there's kind of their system, but you would think that they would have taken.
Well, if you want to talk about Square, like, what about fucking Kingdom Hearts? Like, it's like they tried to copy all of these things from different styles of combat, but they left out all of the important shit. So like, if you're gonna copy the Kingdom Hearts battle system, where is the AI control? Where's the AI settings where you can like set party members to play a certain style? And I don't.
Yeah, I mean, because not everybody wants to constantly switch over to, say, I don't know which character does what, but it's like, I don't know if there's a character that's based more around healing that you get, or companion that you get that's more based around healing. Nobody wants to constantly switch over to that companion and tell them, okay, heal my DPS guy, heal my tank, heal this person. Where if they're bringing that character for healing, they want that character to heal. That's the whole point of that character.
Yeah.
So just like if you have a tank, the whole point of that character should be to maintain the aggro of whatever mob you're fighting.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to constantly switch between those characters to tell them to do things. it should be, hey, I want to focus on this character because I like this character. There should be an AI setting. I can't believe that that's not in the game.
So that's the whole. It's when I first started, it was so like Tifa is such a fucking badass. And she is so fucking fun to play. Like, as much as I love swordplay, and we all know I do, there's something just so...
That's what she said. I know, Nerdy Wife's over there smiling.
There's something so badass about a girl in a world full of monsters and magic and giant mechs and whatever. A girl who just goes around punching and kicking shit.
Nerdy Wife, how'd they get you in there?
And
that's what happens when you're a badass.
Oh. And Tifa's whole combat style is just like fast-paced combos, but basic attacks have little effect in this game. So what's the point of a girl that can combo super fast when her attacks don't really do much?
Well, I would think a girl like that in a game, or not just girl, a character. I don't
a character, girl, yeah.
A character in a game like that, their main purpose would be to take out the ads. Like if you're fighting a big boss, you know, she would be fighting the ads. But if you can't set an AI setting for her to go, okay, go attack minions or go attack, ads or go attack whatever, it's kind of pointless to have that character in there to begin with, because then they can't be set to do the thing that you want them to do. So it's counterintuitive, like you said, to have a character who's going to attack the main boss with attacks that aren't going to do anything. So
and the thing is, they don't even
make sense to me.
Yeah, they don't even attack that often. Like you have Barrett, who has a machine gun on his arm. He's a ranged character. You have Aerith, who uses ranged magic. I will often see them standing there, not even shooting. Like, you have the easiest way to attack without getting in there, but you just stand there and attack like every few seconds. And I have to I have to switch to them just to get in some attacks, just to fill up their ATB gauge. Like, they can't even fill up their own ATB gauge. And
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I don't know what they were thinking on that, and I'm really surprised that there aren't more gamers in the community bitching about this.
Yeah, I don't know why everyone seems to love it. Or from what I've seen, maybe I'm just not looking at the right places.
Do they love the combat system, or do they love the game as a whole? Because I know people, for example, and I'll make another comparison. I know people, for example, who love the Witcher game, Witcher 3, but cannot stand the combat. They think the combat is shallow and kind of boring, especially towards the end game when you basically curb stomp everything you walk up on.
Yeah.
The question is does the community love the game as a whole, or are they praising the combat specifically?
So I have Googled Final Fantasy VII Remake battle system, and pretty much all the articles or threads that I found are people, not necessarily all of them saying that they love it, but just giving it a positive review for the most part, or just saying how it's, explaining how it's different, and explaining all the different mechanics and stuff, but not really saying it in a negative way.
So do you think people are being that way because it took so long for us to get the first section of Final Fantasy VII Remake?
I think they're afraid to bash on it.
Do you think they're afraid to bash on it because they took so long to get here? They don't want to make it, so it takes longer to get the next chapter?
Fucking take longer. Take all the revamp the entire. Go back to fucking turn-based.
I don't think it's that they're concerned it'll take longer. I think they're concerned that they'll say, "Well, this didn't work out like we expected to, so fuck it, we're not going to do it anymore."
No, they're going to do it. I mean
they made money off of this.
Yeah,
they definitely made money off. Well, that has to be said. That this game was in development for how long? Like it was a development hell for years.
Yeah, it was. I don't even know. It's been announced for
at least 3.
I want to say 15 was when when I first heard about it.
Really? So it was announced 5 years ago?
Maybe I might be thinking of something else, but I feel like 2015 was.
This bad?
I don't know, but dude, all you had to do was fucking Kingdom Hearts. Like, if nothing else for Kingdom Hearts, like, they had a decent enough battle system.
I mean, do you think that they did it the way they did it to appeal to the old school gamers? Because, I mean, Final Fantasy VII Remake is a remake of what was a turn-based battle system.
Yeah.
Do you think they did it to create that old school feel of having to tell?
But I don't know how you could even if you did have the old school feel, I don't know how you could feel that it's good enough because, like I said, you can't just, if you do wait around for your action point, you're probably going to get hit and have to heal. So it's just not fun waiting around, and it's not fun to just, hack and slash. And
yeah, I would say that if they're going to base that around the whole, you need the hack and slash, and I'll read your comment just like Mr. Creek. That's a chunk. But if they're going to base it around that whole hack, they should have made that if you hit a certain combo on an enemy, it actually did something to them. Because what you're saying is that even if you do a combo on an enemy, it doesn't affect them.
It does what looks like 1 HP of damage. Like if you look at their bar, it looks like it's doing like 1 HP of damage per hit. Let's read this first. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, let me read this big trailer. Why is Final Fantasy VII so beloved among fans? Because it has such a compelling story and fantastic combat system. The remake falls short on both accounts. The AI was disappointing, and it was a pain to have sort through, and the menus to use abilities. To call it a remake is misleading. This is a reimagining, pioneering by the most infamous director in video game history. It was 30 hours of Nomoru building up the moment he could tell us that he is going to make this game into whatever he sees fit. So wait. So careful with spoilers, Mr. Soul Creek, because I haven't played the game and neither is AD. But it sounds like what you're saying is it's not an exact copy of the story.
It's not. They added in a lot of, they had to add in a lot of extra content to fill the 30 or 40 hours. Because the original, this chapter that we're playing through in this remake, in the original game took maybe 8 hours at most.
Okay.
And yeah, so there's a lot of extra content added, and obviously it's going to have to end on a cliffhanger of some sort.
Mr. Soulcreek says that for what he's heard, the ending of Part 1 is vastly different from the original.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of people that hated this ending. So
Really? Yeah. So that's So basically, it's. It's so. I think what a lot of people were expecting was a remaster and a remake in the sense that you were going to get a better battle system or a live action battle system that worked, which obviously from what you're telling me, it really doesn't work.
Yeah.
But they were going to get the same story, and from what it sounds like is they got a battle system that doesn't work, and the story that they loved, from years and years ago is now also changing.
Yeah.
I'm surprised this is getting the praise that it is then. I really am.
Yeah, I feel like people are just getting paid or sponsored or some shit just to say that, because I've seen there's one specific YouTuber that I have been watching for years and years. He's not that good. He's there's some games that he's pretty decent at, but for the most part he's just not a great gamer. But
he's an entertainer, not a professional gamer.
But he says he gave Final Fantasy a 10 out of 10, which means I didn't hear him say anything specifically about the battle system, but a 10 out of 10 means you had no issue with it. So like, how I'm trying to figure out how he's able to enjoy the battle system and apparently do well at it when I know he's not that good.
Well, I don't know either. It sounds like the whole system is kind of not, and that's the thing. It sounds like the whole system is not up to gaming standards of today. Like you said, Square Enix made Kingdom Hearts. They had a good AI system. BioWare has made multiple games where had a good AI system. There are lots of games where it's a party-based game that have good AI systems. Obsidian,
Final Fantasy 15.
I don't
same style.
I don't understand why this is in existence and this is not an issue. And I also don't understand why people aren't holding it to the status that they expected it to be. That's really a bummer.
I don't know. I go with people are being paid for it.
You think people are being paid? You're sponsored out?
Yeah, because there's too many fanboys for it. And all those diehard fans on it. I mean, hell, you have the comic book fans when a movie that's based off of a comic book comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And people are pissed and say that the whole thing sucks ass because it's not the right story.
Yeah, because Tony Stark's mustache is 3.5 centimeters longer than what it was in the movie,
Yeah.
I mean, and that's just, when you have those diehard fans, they want it exactly like it's supposed to be, and this isn't.
Yeah, but Animal Crossing got review bombed because of their established save file system. Well, I mean, don't open that can of worms, Mr. Soul Creek, because I would jump on that bandwagon myself because I hate how the save file system is. But
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what we're talking about.
It's that you're only allowed to have one save file per Switch.
Oh yeah.
It's only on Switch, right? It is only on Switch, yeah. So I don't agree with that either. But that's we're not opening that can of worms. We've already had that can of worms open. It's been dumped. The worms are gone. They're in the ground. They're good. They're gone. But yeah, that is kind of a bummer.
I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna finish the game.
Though, right? Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna finish the game, and I'm still gonna. I still enjoy the story, and everything is just. It's so nostalgic, and like if we want to talk about something positive for a change, I've talked to you. I talked to you about this last week before we canceled the show, but as far as everything else about the game, I'm just enjoying it on a different level because it's just it hits different now. It's been 20 years. And back when I played it, I was more ignorant. I was dumber. I was also emotionally numb back then because of depression and shit. So I mean, I still like enjoyed the game and like felt the emotion, but like it's just so different now, and it's like hitting harder in a sense, because I'm actually getting it more.
Yeah, but
like I'm actually the music just I actually understand and feel the music more.
So it sounds like it's a good game, but it's not living up to the hype of what it was going to be.
It's a good game to experience if you are not. I think it would be a much better experience if you don't play it on normal mode.
Mm-hmm.
So try it on easy or classic. I don't know.
And here's my thing. Like, my question is though to you also is that being a person who has that emotional connection to the original, are you going to be upset if they change the story drastically to go in a different direction?
I'll have to see, but probably, yeah. I mean, I have no idea what this ending could be. I just know that a lot of people don't like it. So,
see that, and that to me is, I don't want to say upsetting, but
concerning.
It is. Yeah. It's very concerning, considering the fact that I was looking into this game for playing it because it looked like fun, and I'm finding out that it's not as much fun. The combat system, well, not combat system, the materia system looked pretty cool.
The materia is one of the Final Fantasy VII's whole system of materia and how magic works and everything. That's like one of my favorite magic systems in an RPG. So that's done well, at least.
Okay, so the materia system's done well. So there's that. But I'm also learning too that a game whose story was so iconic and so amazing and was just this beacon from which other storytelling for JRPGs has been held to is being changed. And as a person who never experienced the original, it's a little upsetting because I wanted to experience this one so I could experience that story that everybody talks about. And if they're changing it to that extent, it's like, well, why don't I just go out and buy the original then?
I was gonna say you might be better off just getting the original, because at least at that point you would be able to get the full story. Whereas for this one, you're just getting, because even if, the way I see it, like even if the ending of this game, this chapter of the story is bad, the entire Midgar section in Final Fantasy, like I said, in the original game, it was like 8 hours at most for a fucking 80 to 100 hour game. There is not much in the Midgar section that really, it's really just meant to kind of introduce the whole bigger part of the story. So
it's the JRPG equivalent of the tutorial.
Yeah. So even if they were to change the ending in whatever way they did and it was different or whatever, there's still the entire main part of the story to tell after the fact. So like, so what? They changed the tutorial section a little bit. Like, there's still hope for the whole entire actual important story of Final Fantasy VII. So I don't know. I'll have to see it, but I really don't know why people are so mad.
Really? So Mr. Soulcreek saying, for example, Midgar is very linear.
Yeah.
After Midgar, the game unlocks into an open world system.
Yeah. So Midgar is pretty much, it's very linear. You don't get.
And you're saying the game itself is like a 100-hour experience, but they only did this game, which is a 40-hour game, is only about 8 hours of that experience. So it makes me wonder, how many damn games do they expect to make in this quote unquote?
Yeah, I mean the original was on 3 discs, but that's because it was PS1, which was limited. But
my thing is like, it makes me concerned because, and Mr. Soulcreek saying, it opened up into an open world system after Midgar. Are they cutting that open world system out and I'm just going to put you on a linear storyline the entire time through? Because to me, as a person who bases whether or not they enjoy a game, and I get a lot of flack for this, I know I do, but bases whether or not they enjoy a game off of whether or not I have arcing story choices. I have to have those choices and those. What's the word I'm looking for, sweetheart? I don't know. I just have to have choices.
Well, yeah. So Final Fantasy, it's open world in the sense that you can explore the entire map, and it's basically like an entire planet that you can fly around.
Right.
You can find all these different quests, find different extra materia or extra weapons that you have to find, or even extra characters to add to your party in the original. I'm sure in this remake they're probably gonna kind of force you to recruit these characters because they're great characters and shouldn't be left out. But for the most, the story of Final Fantasy VII is linear. Like, there's not choice based arcs. But you still have the freedom of exploration and finding shit that you wouldn't normally find. But the story's gonna go the way it's gonna go.
Let's see. Mr. Soulcreek says a lot of people say that the last chapters of the remake feel like Kingdom Hearts storytelling. So fake open world with heavy restrictions would be very Kingdom Heartsy. Well, how do they get to the last chapters of the remake? I thought only the first chapter of the remake was out. I'm confused.
No, I think he means because the remake is split into chapters.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so there's like I think 18 chapters, and I'm on like 13. So.
Oh, okay. Evil baby is talking again. Well, we need to get that child a camera. We need to start introducing Evil baby. I don't know. It just sounds like that's maybe I shouldn't try to play Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I don't think you'd like it.
You don't think I'd like it?
No.
Too linear for me, you think?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you just
get pissed off that you can't alter the story to how you're playing the game.
You're better off watching a playthrough, because it's really the only thing really worth experiencing if you've never experienced is this story. You're not missing anything from not being able to play the battle system because it's ass. So
that's really a bummer, because from what I've seen of people playing it, because I would hop in on streams and see it and then hop out just to kind of see what it's like. It looked like fun. The materia system looked really cool.
It looks fun. It even feels fun when like swinging the sword around feels good. You can feel the weight, you can feel the power of it. Like I said, Tifa is a badass who just punches and kicks everything with like super fast combos and shit, but that's not how you play it.
That's a bummer. So it looks like Devil May Cry, but doesn't play like Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Bummer. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. That's a big bummer. So yeah, I guess I'll just kind of watch it then. I was thinking about grabbing it, but I'm glad I got the opinion from an actual Final Fantasy. I was a guru.
I put you.
I put you on guru levels, because I mean I'm not a Final Fantasy guru guy. I'm not a huge Final Fantasy person. So I'm glad I got that opinion before I spent the money and found that I didn't like it. So I'll probably watch your playthrough. I'll go back to your
Imagine the combo systems of Tifa with actual impact and damage Dissidia. Yeah, you keep mentioning Dissidia. That's something I bought it a long time ago and like barely ever touched it, just because other shit happened.
Well, okay, so seeing that I'm not going to be playing that game, I'm going to have to fill it in with another backlog game.
You know what I think I'm going to do, though, is probably cut together all of my playthrough and just cut out all the fucking combat. just for someone like you, so you can like just watch the fucking story.
Yeah.
It's like,
that could be interesting. All right, well, seeing that's another game I'm not going to be playing, and considering all of the cancellations that are out there, let's talk about backlogs. Our backlogs of shame. Games that we have said that we love, games that we know we love, but never finished. This is the perfect time to go back to those games and, finish them. So I'm kind of curious what your backlog of shame is, AD, but I'll start out, give you a minute to think. So I know I kind of jumped this one here right before the
so this is games that we've actually started, or could it be games that we have but have never touched?
That too.
That too.
Backlogs of shame. So I'll give one, and I'll give you an opportunity to give one. We'll go back and forth. So one of my backlogs of shame, and I'm going to get shit for this, because I'm a huge open world fantasy guy. I love games where there's choices and there's side quests, and I'm just going to say it. I never finished Skyrim.
Really?
Never finished it.
Haven't you? You said you've bought it multiple times, right?
I've bought it on like 4 different systems, and I have never finished it. And I started it new on every system, and I have never finished it. I am a bad nerd. But I've never finished it. So that's my first one. It's a big one. I plan on going back to it probably here in the next couple months. I need to finish it. I need to play it.
So that actually brings up something else that isn't really in my backlog, because I don't have it and I've never actually started it. But it's probably going to be interesting to point out that, being a gamer my entire life, I started off on, my dad's fucking Atari system. But essentially I grew up on the Nintendo. I have never touched Zelda ever.
Really?
Never.
Like none of them?
None of them.
Dude.
Not because of not necessarily.
I'm gonna have to revoke your gaming card.
You're have to send that to me. And it's not necessarily because of lack of interest. It's just it just never happened.
Never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zelda is. I would recommend. God, what Zelda game would you guys recommend
that I could actually get a hold of?
Well, I mean, I've heard nothing but praise from the one that they just recently put out. I didn't play it, but what is it? The most recent one, guys. Breath of the Wild. I've heard nothing but good things about that, and you have a Switch coming. It can't hurt.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
You have a Master Sword replica. That's cool.
I've heard Ocarina of Time is like one of the standouts of all of them. But that was on N64 days, I think. It's an older one, but I've heard nothing but good things from Breath of the Wild. I think you'd like it. Did we own Breath of the Wild? I thought we got it.
I have no idea.
I think I got it. I didn't. I may have.
I don't know. You got me the dragon one, but that's not Zelda. That's the
dragon one.
Spyro.
No.
Yeah, that was the first time I've ever played that.
Time is the only 100 out of 100 for a long time.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Ocarina of Time's the standout one, but it was on N64, right? Mr. Soul Creek, I think it was N64. Did they remake that one or put it on a present day system?
I don't know. Do they ever remake Zelda games?
No.
Fuck the Water Temple.
I've actually I don't think I can remember a single one.
Yeah.
On N64, but a remake on 3DS.
Oh,
so you can play it on 3DS if you want to. I feel like as an adult, we're gonna go back to the backlog conversation, but I'm just gonna bring this up. I feel like as an adult, I have less and less and less desire to play anything on a screen this big.
Emulators was one of my choices. Yeah, I was gonna.
You know what I mean?
Have to see if that works.
You know what I mean? 22. Like as an adult, as the older I get, I have less and less desire to play on any portable system with a screen this big. I just don't want to. Like if I'm 32 damn years old, okay, my eyes are gonna start going. I don't need to be playing on something this big, you know. So I own the TV in the house. I can play on a fucking big ass TV if I want to. I don't have to ask my parents to do it.
So here's a question.
Right, sweetheart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's a question. How many years can a 3DS sit in a closet before it's beyond reviving?
Indefinitely?
I mean, we have a 2DS that was in the closet for God knows how long.
Yeah.
And it still works.
Yeah. Yeah.
My original DS still works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Things like 11 years old, 12 years old.
I mean, I don't know. I have a 3DS. I have a 3DS sitting next to my desk right now. It literally has dust on it.
Yeah.
I'm sure I could fire it up if I wanted to.
Most of the handhelds do.
Yeah. All right. So next backlog game of shame for myself. So yours is Zelda, which is kind of a shameful thing as a gamer. I'm gonna need that card. You're gonna have to send it to me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to revoke that. So you play either Breath of the Wild or Ocarina.
I need to finish Ori.
Oh, Ori! There's your backlog of shame. Ori, the first one, by the way.
Yeah.
See, Ori.
I need to finish that.
You know, real quick on Ori though, there's another game that is just so beautiful but so fucking frustrating at the same time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god.
Ori is definitely one of
those. But I do
games.
really like it though. I was pissed that I had to save myself. Like you can't just keep going.
Hey, Leroy.
Leroy, is that what I think it is?
Oh, hello there. All right, so my second backlog of shame. I'm gonna get shit for this one too because I praised the company, from the same company as Skyrim, and I love the Fallout franchise. I never finished Fallout 4. I am a bad. You know what? I may as well just send in my gamer card too.
Okay.
I never finished Fallout 4. I've spent countless hours in it, hundreds of hours, and never finished it. I just never finished it. Unfortunately, well, you know what, Mrs. Soul Creek, you say all stories are shit. I haven't heard you say a single, other than something from Piranha Bytes. Have I heard you say that wasn't shit? Do you secretly work for them?
Oh yeah, that's a lot of Zelda there.
So that's my second backlog.
You keep bringing up interesting points for me because I've never played Fallout either.
Oh my god! None of them.
Well, the only Fallout experience I've had is I watched my friend play it like in the Marine Corps, like
Which one?
Huh?
Which one?
I don't know.
The one
3?
his friend was playing.
I want to say 3.
Okay. Yeah, 3 was the first one that Bethesda took over and made it into a Bethesda game.
Yeah.
Fallout 1 and 2 was, I forget what company originally owned them, but was very much so a isometric view. Think DOS2, but not really DOS2. Think old CRPG style. That's what the original Fallouts were. And then when Bethesda got a hold of it, they made it into like this kind of first-person thing, which is good. I love them. I love all the Fallouts, but it was definitely a drastic change from what it originally was. Bethesda main stories always suck. Expect New Vegas. That story was awesome. Well, New Vegas wasn't really Bethesda. That was Obsidian. I don't know. I don't think the main stories always suck in Bethesda. Soul Creek. I thought. Oh god, I'm having a brain fart. The one before Skyrim. Shit, I can see the cover in my head. I'm having a brain fart. I woke up late, guys. Give me a second. Oblivion. Thank you, Leroy. Oblivion. I thought the story on Oblivion was really good. Yeah, I really did. I thought the story on Oblivion was good. I don't think all Bethesda game main stories are shit. But I do think that the beauty of most Bethesda games is found not in the main story, but in the side quests. It's always kind of been that way.
Yeah.
And a lot can be said about that for a lot of open world games, though. You can't have an open world game where you have a lot of side quests, but have this super driving main story that makes you want to continue on it without exploring the world, because then you're going to miss out on all the side content.
Yeah, I think that's especially done well in the game that I just played, Judgment, or the entire Yakuza series, because this main story is so good and compelling, but the side quests are the gem of the series because they're just so different. Like, I don't know, they're just so fun, and they have so much of their own charm to the story and stuff. So
I will agree with that, Mr. Soul Creek. In the sense, and I'll agree with you too, AD. You're right. For what I saw of Judgment, that's makes me want to play it, honestly.
Yeah.
But I will say, Mr. Soul Creek, that's one problem I have with open world games. Open world games typically have an overarching main storyline that you follow. A lot of times when you get to the end of that storyline, it's almost as if you didn't do anything. Like the story, the world doesn't change. And I think that's something that needs to change in open world games, is if you, and they need to have a message that comes up, this is your point to no return. You'll lose quests. And The Witcher 3 kind of did it, but they didn't really do it because it didn't change the world in a drastic sense. But because I beat the main story of Witcher 3, I beat one of the DLCs. I'm working on the final DLC, so I'm not considering that in my backlog of shame. By the way, I'm almost done with the whole thing, and I'm presently working on it. But the thing is like, you beat the main story in a game, and an overall game. I would love to see the world change. That's what I would love to see, and they need to have like a pre-main story finished open world, and then a post-main story finished open world. So, do you know which company thought of that in their open world games? I don't know. What do you mean? What company? Dragon's Dogma has that, does it?
Has what?
That was Dragon's Dogma. That was going to be the next backlog of shame for me. I never finished Dragon's Dogma.
I never finished Monster Hunter.
Dragon's Dogma was...
You don't finish Monster Hunter.
You do once you finish.
You never finished the main story of Monster Hunter.
That's what I mean by I never finished it. Because you were supposed to help me and you didn't.
Dragon's Dogma is fun. It's really fun.
Did you finish it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never finished it. I need to.
Well, yeah. I'm not going to go into a fucking Dragon's Dogma review. Fuck it.
Well, here's a question. What's your next backlog? We'll do this up till we both have 5.
Yeah, I actually haven't even mentioned real backlogs. I've just mentioned shit I've never played and losing more and more credibility as a gamer.
It's okay, so am I.
But
so am I. That's why gamers don't talk about their backlogs. It's shame.
Yeah. Soul Creek never finished Dark Souls 1.
Ooh. There you go. There's that shame right there.
Yeah.
For shame.
So, there's a good one. I mean, I started it recently, so I can't really say that it's unfinished. It's just taking me longer than I thought because I'm just not coming back to it as often. But Bloodborne, I started streaming a few weeks ago and just kind of put it away because Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about like real backlog, like an unfinished game, Sekiro.
Really? You didn't finish Sekiro?
Nope.
I mean, I didn't finish Sekiro because I didn't like it. I don't consider it a backlog if I tried it and played it and it was like, ugh.
Yeah, I got really frustrated with it, and then other shit happened, as it always does when you play so many games. and I just haven't come back to it yet.
All right, sweetheart.
I don't know.
I mean, you're a new gamer, so I mean, having two backlogs of shame is pretty impressive as a gamer. Okay, another backlog of shame for me would have to be. I mean, I already covered my 3 big ones.
Most of the stuff that I play is
Sega is hard if your brain's not great at timing and rhythms.
Here's a very public backlog of shame for me. I started it more than a year ago. I even mentioned it before the show. I need to go back and finish Horizon Zero Dawn. I started it and posted YouTube videos of me doing it, and I still haven't finished.
Yeah.
So I need to finish that.
That's one.
That's insane, Leroy.
Yeah, if I can, I'm just gonna quick fire a few things that it's not like started and unfinished, but they're just games that I have and just have never started. Horizon Zero Dawn is one of them. Assassin's Creed Origins.
Oh, see, okay. Let me point out, Assassin's Creed game, like any Ubisoft game, in my opinion, is hard to put in your backlog of shame because unless you're a completionist, like a full completionist, you never finish the game.
Yeah.
You either beat the main storyline.
Well, that's pretty much what it is, just playing through the story. Because I played Odyssey, and I just heard that Origins was better, so kind of wanted to try it out, and I have it. Witcher 3 is another one. Haven't started. So that's about where I am.
See, nerdy wife. I mean, you haven't finished Animal Crossing.
That doesn't count.
I mean, do you finish Animal Crossing? Is that a thing?
No.
You don't finish Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing finishes you.
I was gonna say.
You finish Animal Crossing when you say, fuck it, I don't want to play anymore.
Is that how that goes?
Yes, that's when you have finished the game.
Let's see. What's another backlog shame? I mean, I have a very long backlog of shame because I've played a lot of games, and nerdy wife, so if you're looking for my games and drawers, if you want to look at games and drawers, they're over there.
I was gonna say, did you ever finish
what?
Red Dead?
Yeah, I finished the first one. I haven't even started RDR2.
Yeah.
I guess that's a backlog.
That's the one that I'm looking at in the drawer.
Yeah, I haven't even started that one. So I guess that's a backlog of shame for me, which is surprising again because I am a huge Western buff. I love Western games, Western movies.
Those are 360.
That's definitely not a backlog for me because I'm never coming back to that.
What?
Red Dead 2. Dead? Yeah.
You didn't like the first one?
I didn't play the first one.
Or you just didn't like the second one?
Yeah, I was gifted the second one. So I'm like, okay, I'll try it. It wasn't something I would have, tried on my own. But, I was gifted it, so I'm like, okay, let's give it a shot. But yeah, it's not. I can't do that shit.
As soon as you start talking Animalese, you finish Animal Crossing? You mean when they're like and you mean like that? Yeah.
Multiplayer is so bad that I don't want to play.
Oh no, here comes Nerdy Wife's got a list of games. Wait, okay. First of all, let me see what do you have. What do you have?
I think some of these
you can't finish this game.
I don't recall you finishing.
Well, you can't finish this game. It's online. Evolve, that's an unfinishable game. For Honor, that's a PvP game, so that's not. Titanfall, I did finish. Thank you very much.
You didn't?
Yes, I did. I finished Titanfall 1 and 2 with recently in the last year with Rango and Tiger.
Oh, okay. That's why I didn't know you finished that one.
Far Cry Primal. I'll just say every Far Cry game I have yet to actually finish the whole story. Like, beat the entire game 100%.
Yeah, I only played the first one and the third one.
And then Dying Light. Dying Light is one that's been on my backlog a long time. And I planned on going back to it when Dying Light was getting ready to come out, but Dying Light 2 got delayed. So that's in the backlog.
The only reason you would play Red Dead 2 is to row a boat with accurate mechanics. Yeah, but does he row the boat like super slow?
Everybody gives RDR2 a bad rap. I liked RDR1. RDR1's story was really good.
I don't think people hate the story. My hate for Red Dead 2 is
illegal in Germany? What?
What's illegal in Germany?
Dying Light.
Dying Light? Why? I gotta figure this out, but we'll continue. I'll wait for Soul Creek to. So wait, why didn't you like RDR2? Like, so it wasn't the story. What was it?
Well, I don't even know the story, but from what I've heard, everybody loves the story. The reason I couldn't get into it is because it was so fucking slow. Not the story was slow, but everything about the game was slow.
Well,
like the first chapter was riding on a horse, and every single movement is so slow. Looting a body takes so fucking long. And when you're looting multiple bodies, it starts to get really dull. Even searching boxes and shit is just.
That's the kind, but that kind of leads into the whole. How do I put it? The whole Western feel to it. I mean, I don't know. Do you watch Western movies?
I mean, I've watched Western movies.
You watch The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, right?
I don't think. No, I haven't.
Gamer, go watch that movie. Damn it!
I'm not an American.
Player, you gotta go watch that movie. You gotta go watch that movie. AD, I'm telling you got to. First of all, this is coming from a person who's a Clint Eastwood fan. I love all Clint Eastwood movies. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is the iconic Western movie. Go watch that movie, and you'll understand. And you'll understand more why the game RDR2 is the way it is, because in Westerns everything is very slow. That there's points of really cool fast fight, gunfights and everything, but then it goes back to it's.
Well, yeah, but understanding it doesn't make me want to sit there and wait for a guy to loot a body and fucking just sit through. It feels like, I don't know. It's a game that's longer than it needs to be. I'm not a really big fan of like all the extra shit and all like the management and shit. Like I like open world games, but just not all the time. Not when it's that slow or when it's forced.
Okay, that's fair. So Mr. Soul Creek says, was the last game that got fully censored by the USK age restriction. After that, the backlash was so massive they changed the process completely. That's why now swastikas are okay in games nowadays. Okay. So they but why? I don't remember, like, and it's been a while since I booted up Dying Light and I don't remember there being like swastikas and stuff in the game. Like I
watch it online with me. Sure, let's do that. Where is it?
I think we should stop looking at Nazis, however. Something bad is happening. You know what? I think we should look at how horrible capital. Oh, no. They're not much better than communism.
Nope, fuck politics.
Yeah, we're not doing politics today. We're gonna leave it alone. By the way, if Jeff Bezos gave every single person in the entire world €4, he'd still be a millionaire. Food for thought. I mean, we're not talking politics. We're gonna leave that one alone.
Whatever.
Alone. I love you, Leroy, but we're gonna leave politics alone today.
Do we have any more backlogs, or?
I mean, I always have more backlogs, but I think we covered enough of my most shameful ones. I can't think of any other ones that are really shameful.
Does it get?
I mean, I do have games veering away from backlogs, and kind of now talking about indie games or smaller titles that we haven't explored because of big AAA games have kind of overshadowed them when they came out. For example, you and I tried a smaller studio game this past Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? No, Thursday. On Thursday, The Raft. That game was immaculate. I loved it. Your thoughts on it?
I enjoyed it. I don't know.
I know it. I know it. Brought out your deep hatred of birds.
Yeah. It's fucking birds. I don't know.
What was that other game that you were just playing the other day that I said you really need to play on stream?
What? I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
What was that other game you were playing the other day that I said you need to play on stream?
Oh, I was playing My Time at Portia. I was playing that, and
what was it?
My Time at Portia, I think it's called. That game it's like Animal Crossing mixed with frickin' RPG element.
It's a mashup of everything. Absolutely everything.
Whoa. Okay. And the problem is, and
it's insane.
Nerdy Wife was like, "You need to play this on stream," because I was making her freaking crack up the whole time because
I was crying.
I was playing it, and it's got like a full character creator and everything, and I created my character, but I didn't mess with the voice. So the whole time, my character sounds like this, and I'm just completely fabulous the whole time. And I was just, because I've been a streamer, I was commentating on the couch. She's over there trying to sew masks for people and like crying as I'm playing the game.
Nerdy daughter brought me a box of tissues.
It was bad. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, but I don't really know what to say about Raft. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It's definitely not something I would ever play on my own.
No, it's not a single player game.
Yeah.
It is very much so a play with a friend game.
And I'm not sure how much of the game itself I was enjoying, or if I was just enjoying, us, working together and just hanging out. But
I think it was a combination of the two. And maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
But I thought the game was just a lot of fun. But
yeah, because
I go ahead.
I think the only thing that I'm kind of not unsure about is the fact that
Yes, Leroy, there was kind of a twitch there. Twitch was twitching. I got it on my end too.
Yeah. It's been happening this week. Shit's falling apart.
It's Twitch. It's not you. Look at the time. People are logging in now.
So the thing that makes me unsure about how exactly I feel about the game is the fact that I usually hate these types of games. Like just management types of games.
Mm-hmm.
Because people in chat were telling us that it's basically like Minecraft, but in the water. And I'm like, I never had any interest in Minecraft.
I don't like Minecraft. I like management games like RimWorld or Auction Not Included stuff, but I hate Minecraft.
I like Minecraft.
But I enjoyed this game because one, we were playing together. One, we were exploring it together and kind of figuring out things. But I did feel that very creep towards the end there, that creep of, okay, now it's just, we have tedious stuff we have to do. And that's less Minecraft in my opinion and more of that survival aspect games like Ark or something.
Yeah.
Where it does begin to get tedious once you're trying to get to a certain level. But in a lot of games like that though, once you get to a certain level, it stops being tedious and you can explore the world more.
Yeah.
Like there's a point where you get technologically in the game where you don't have to worry so much about materials and stuff. We're in like that middle part.
Yeah.
But
that's the crazy thing about me enjoying that game was like it was really at some parts we were just doing the same thing over and over. Like you pick some shit up, you cook some food, you purify, get some water, and then it's just the constant cycle of doing the same shit over and over. But like it was enjoyable. So
it was. I think it was, and I think that's mainly because if you're doing that by yourself, I think you would have been like 10 minutes in, like fuck this shit, and probably I would have been too.
Yeah.
Playing it together though,
Well, and we talked about that before, that he never would have played that game if it wasn't on stream with you.
Yeah.
Because he would have gotten frustrated within the first 15 minutes. He'd be like, fuck it, I don't want to play this.
I would have.
Film is available on Amazon for a couple bucks. Well, it's also available on other stuff for free. Which I'm not going to
Platinum.
mention.
Oh no, where's your girlfriend? She
had some shit.
Real life issues.
Yeah, she had some life happened, and she couldn't make it this week.
I mean, I will lovingly fill in nerdy wife. She could be your fill-in girlfriend.
She will show you her ankles.
She will show you her ankles. And let me tell you, those are some ankles.
Yeah. I mean, if you've never seen ankles before, you gotta see hers. And I've never even seen them,
So, but yet, speaking of smaller indie games.
Wait, what? Since when were we a couple? Who said that?
Or a couple? Wait, am I missing something? No.
Okay, Leroy, you're not missing anything. No, they're not a couple.
No, it's a running gag with Ace Platinum.
I mean, we're a couple of people. Because there's two of us.
Oh god, Ace Platinum's like, alright, sure, I'll see your feet, Nick.
No, he asked where his girlfriend was. Tara's his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Imaginary girlfriend.
So have you been checking out smaller studio or indie game titles? Like, seeing this bigger, drier spell. Have you been looking into stuff like that?
Not really.
Really? I know I have.
Yeah, not recently, but I know, like, in the past I have, looked at indie. Well, I guess a lot of...
I guess it's not just indie games, but smaller studio games, too.
Yeah, but a lot of the horror games that I do are indie games. Most of them are.
Not a lot of AAA studios touch horror.
Yeah.
I mean,
at least not that type of horror.
I was gonna say, unless you consider Resident Evil horror games, but I don't really see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, any horror you see in a bigger title is more like action horror.
Mm-hmm.
So, most of like the pure just survival horror games I find are just indie games. So.
Yeah, because I know here recently, I tried out Mountain Blade Bannerlord 2, which was a fun experience, but it's a buggy mess. There's some issues with that game. But it's an early access.
You guys have been together for 3 years? Holy shit. Ace has this whole story built out. Where'd you guys meet?
I did Mountain Blade 2. Oni's not exactly made by a big studio. Raft, RimWorld's not a big studio. I just recently got a game because I found a game that I wanted to try out that comes out in June, called Desperados 3. And I saw that game, I was like, that's such a cool game, and I started looking into it. And 1 and 2 came out a long time ago. But apparently there's a game called Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun that I never played. And that game looks like a ton of fun. So I'll be playing that here very soon.
You met at Starbucks when she worked there as a barista. Okay. I'll buy that.
Oh wait, I gotta add 2 more to the backlog of shame. Oh my god, people are gonna hate me for this one. For as much of a South Park fan I am...
You never played South Park?
I never finished, I started one of them, Stick of Truth, but I never finished South Park Stick of Truth or played Fractured Butthole. I might have... does that mean I have to turn in my South Park fanboy card?
I don't know. Who's here to judge you?
No, but that's also one of those things where the reason why you haven't finished those is because you can't play them with children around.
That's true. That's fair.
Grand Theft Auto is the same way.
That's fair. Is that an excuse? Does that get me out of having to turn in my card?
Yeah, yes. Sure.
Okay.
You're not going to...
We are very open with the amount of stuff that we let our children see and hear, but...
8-year-olds running around talking about pussies and saying, God damn it, it's not so much.
No, not quite.
You can't out-shame me with Zelda, though, so that's just not going to happen.
No, I'm just trying to make your shame a little bit less.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
He's just adding his own shame into the mix. It's fine.
This biggest shame in his backlog is that he never played Gothic 1 and 2.
Oh, speaking of Soul Creek, I did buy that bundle that was on sale for Gothic.
What, the Piranha Bytes bundle or whatever?
But I haven't touched it yet.
Does it come with Gothic 1 and 2?
1, 2, and 3.
Does it come with Risen and all those other ones?
No.
Oh, because I got the big bundle. I got the Risen, Gothic,
okay.
Elix. But yeah, I bought them too, and I haven't really played them. Mr. Soul Creek is like constantly reminding me, you need to play this game. You need to play this game. This game's great. You need to play it. Play the game.
Leroy, kids say all sorts of shit now.
We watched South Park when we were 8 or so. I mean, or you could say 11 hours, 15 minute walk.
We kind of stopped the kids watching South Park a lot when it got too nerdy. Daughter would drop something, look at it, and go, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
and then pick it up.
Yeah, I was like, "Okay, you're 5 years old." No.
Yeah, so we kind of quit that. Yeah, the nerdy boy playing with action figures and saying, "You bastard!" Then it was time to cut back on that. Yeah. Like, well, crap.
Yeah. But you die an early death and will haunt nerdy until he plays the games. Which ones? All the Piranha Bytes games or just Gothic? Because there's a lot of Piranha Bytes games. Huh?
What's Gothic?
Gothic is a game made Piranha Bytes. It's, from what I understand, a really good RPG, deep RPG
I'm sorry,
system.
It's made by who?
Piranha Bytes.
Okay.
What'd you hear?
Corona Bytes?
No, not Corona. It's not made by Corona Bytes. No, Piranha Bytes.
Okay.
It's, from what I understand, a really good, deep RPG. The problem is, and here's the problem, Mr. Soul Creek, that we've had this discussion. I don't like mods in my video games, for the most part. I get cautious when it comes to mods, because I'm afraid they're going to fuck up my game, fuck up my PC, fuck up whatever. But I like. I think who did I read who said that? I think it was Rui. I like my video games like I like them naked, no extras added. I don't like a whole bunch of mods on my games, and the idea of playing a game that requires mods to run on present day systems, I don't like it. I'd rather just wait till they remaster it, which they're working on for us.
Ace, if you're whispering her on Twitch, I really don't think she checks her whispers that much. You could try to hit her up on Discord. But even then, she doesn't check that much. Pretty much your best bet is to try to get her number, which I don't think is going to happen.
How many bytes of Corona do you have installed on your PC? Oh my god. Gothic 1 and 2 are 10 out of 10 games. 3 is 8 out of 10. Risen 18 out of 10, 20 out of 10, and 37 out of 10? Really? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I read that. 8-1 is 8 out of 10, 2 is 9 out of 10, 3 is 7 out of 10. Once again, sorry to bring that up on generally. It's not a mod, it's a patch that some reason is not included in the Steam version. But it's not coming from an official source. Didn't you say it was community made? So it's.
Oh yeah, Animal Crossing. You could try to find her island on there. You don't live in the U.S., it would cost you $600 per text. I don't think she's worth that.
Damn, baby, that's cool. Wow.
You're gonna have some words.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Ooh, ice cream.
I would love for Tara's fucking thing to pop up right now, like in chat. I'd be like, ooh. But I don't know. I lost my train of thought because AD just dropped that burn. Just incinerated my train of thoughts.
I mean, okay. So would you text your wife for $600 per text?
Yes.
Fuck no.
See, she doesn't think so. You just chose the safe
Facebook
answer.
Messenger is for.
Huh?
The Facebook Messenger is for.
Well, that's fair.
That shit won't cost you anything.
But I think what he was saying is if we only had that one choice to talk to each other, would I text you for $600? Yes.
Okay.
Don't look for fucking hints. I'm not. There are no faces being made. Yes, I would. Anyway, what were we talking about? Let's get off this. It is official for the high-res custom texture stuff was a mod. Gotham there needs a community-made patch to fix bugs because of publisher shenanigans when the game released. But aren't they remaking it anyway, Mr. Snow Creek? Or not remastering Gothic anyway? Wouldn't it be better if I just wait for the official remaster to come out?
Who's going to tell you no?
Well, of course he's going to tell me no because he wants to watch me play it. But I would rather play a game like Elix, which I know is not going to get remastered, and I think they're working on Elix 2 right now. Elix looks like more fun for me. Piranha Bytes is not remaking? I thought they were. No, they are!
Well, if you were just going to wait for the remake, why'd you buy the bundle?
Because it was super cheap. Mr. Soul Creek wouldn't stop. And I did want to play Elix, and I do want to play Risen. Risen is more like it's got pirates. I like pirates. If I had to choose between a pirate and a ninja, I would be a pirate. How about you? You had to choose between a pirate and a ninja, who would you be?
I think that's pretty obvious.
You'd be the pirate too?
No.
Oh.
Do you not see my skin tone and everything?
What, your slanted eyes?
And yeah.
So I'm assuming ninja. Well, yeah, I didn't know if you're gonna fall into the stereotype. You might be like, "Arr."
My my Instagram bio is professional Asian.
That's fantastic.
THQ Nordic is remaking Gothic. Well, okay, so THQ Nordic is good though. By the way,
what color underpants are all of us wearing?
What?
Is what Ace wants to know.
What am I wearing?
Ace, you go first.
I am wearing.
I think mine are black.
I don't know which ones I'm wearing this time. Mine are gray with sharks on them.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, because fun fact, Nerdy Wife and I have an underwear subscription.
We do. They're amazing.
To a company called MeUndies, and they are so awesome.
I
don't get what's it called? I'm not sponsored by them, but I would love to be.
Wait, so they send you underwear every month?
Yes.
Like how much?
So it's called MeUndies.
It's $15 a month for a pair of underwear. I know.
$15 for a pair?
Okay. You don't understand.
Most amazing things ever.
Okay, it feels like an angel is cradling your nuts with a cloud.
Hold on. I need to find a logo to put up on stream.
Because that's what it feels like.
Okay.
But MeUndies is actually really stream not sponsored by them.
They are awesome.
MeUndies are great though.
And there's crazy different like patterns and stuff that you can get on them too.
Mm-hmm.
So like they have ninja raccoons.
Yeah. Well, they change the pattern every month. You get like monthly patterns. Like that.
Yeah.
But they are very comfortable.
Skiing bunnies.
Well, and I will say this much. There is a streamer out there who is sponsored by them, and if you go and you sign up for like their monthly subscription, you'll get like a $3 or $4 discount. So it becomes like $14 or $12, whatever it is, $13 for the subscription.
Wait, so if you can get sponsored by them as a streamer, why are you not trying to? I
will eventually. Mm-hmm. I don't think they talked to me yet because I'm not big enough. But that for just kind of a plug for him because he's a good streamer, he's a good guy. But Fighting Cowboy, he does have a subscription, or he does have a sponsorship with them where you go there and you click on it and you get a
you should hang the undies on the walls to promote them.
I mean, I can go get a pair and show you. They're amazing.
Yeah, do it. No.
Sweetheart, go
cool.
get me a pair of my MeUndies. Okay, good.
Okay, fine. Whatever.
We've got nothing else to talk about.
Yeah, whatever.
Let's talk about Ace Platinum brought up underwear, so we're going to talk about underwear.
Let's see. We got dark blue. We got gray and black.
Wait, are you looking at MeUndies right now?
Huh? No, I'm just looking at what people are wearing in chat.
Wait, really? Because my chat died. I lost it. There it is. Now it's back up.
Talk about games you want to play. Well, we just went through all our backlog, so...
Yeah, I mean, if I look at games that's not really a backlog that I just found recently, there is one game that I really want to try, and I know you've played it, and I don't know if you think I would like it. It was, hold on, let me go to my wish list. It was Nier Automata.
I've been telling you to play that.
So you really think I would like it?
Well, the combat works.
I mean, but is it an open world, non-linear type thing?
I'm trying to remember exactly how open it was. It was pretty open for the most part. You can go anywhere. There's a bunch of side quests and shit. Yeah, I mean it's pretty open world. Plus it's a good story, and you played through it. To get the full story, you played through it, at least 3 times.
Game of the century. What, Gothic RuneScape or Nier Automata? Or is it Automata or Automata?
I think it's Automata. That's how I say it.
I don't know. Going back to sponsorships and stuff and everything. One of the things I did want to bring up today was kind of controversial. Kind of a debacle. I talked to you a little bit about it before stream. The whole
Automata.
It's Automata. Okay, but the whole what is this name? What's the name of this streamer? Invader Vi, what her name is, shaming her chat for not. Oh my God, Nerdy Wife actually went and got the underwear.
Oh yeah, I did.
You told her to.
Anyway,
bunnies, dude.
Anyway, yeah, the whole Invader Vi thing where she was shaming people for not subbing to her channel or not giving her bits. Stop, Nerdy, right now. Why am I stopping?
Stop what? Just stop.
Why am I stopping?
Whatever it is, just stop.
What are we talking about?
We were talking about the whatever V or Vi person her name is. Well, but see, the same thing happened with another streamer named Bad Bunny, where she also shamed her chat. But it's don't mention thoughts, let them fade and screw. But it's not just them. I've seen this in other stream chats where this is happening, where people are either directly or indirectly shaming their chat into not giving them bits or not paying them money or subbing to them. I want to get your thoughts on that, AD. Do you feel like as a streamer you should put pressure on your chat to give you money?
No.
Like not at all. That there's no wiggle room.
It's fucking stupid. Like I don't see the point of being a streamer and like asking for money and shaming people for. The way I see it, like the real point of being a streamer, not that people see it that way, but it should be to just interact with people, give people a place to hang out and connect and just have fun and stuff.
I mean, it's entertainment in a community.
Yeah. If your point of being a streamer is to make money and attract people that are going to give you money, then I don't know.
Well, I mean, but there are people where streaming is their main source of income.
Well, I guess the question is, what kind of content does she provide? Does she provide content that requires you to pay for it, or is is she just someone who like looks good and talks to people? And
are you referring to her to being a chat girl?
Is she
a stream girl? Whatever those things are, a net girl. I don't know.
What is she?
She's a video game streamer. She's a nerdy streamer. I mean, we all do. As
is she
video
good?
Game streamers. Is she good? Like, no, she's like our level of gamer.
So, okay, so I mean, it gets into the question of like mostly just chatting is what Soul Creek says. So yeah, that's how I see a lot of these, and I don't want to. Okay, no, I do want to, because I'm gonna start this controversy here, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of backlash for it if anyone sees it, especially the girls. But I see a lot of these pretty girls that that see Twitch as like, oh well, you know, video games are easy. I can just be pretty and I don't have to be good. And, you know, I could play video games and make money off of it. And sure, they might really enjoy the video game, but, you know, I feel like some of them are really just using it as more of an avenue to make money and be famous. And they're not like us, where, you know, we really have a love for video games in the sense, you know.
Well, I'll agree to that. A lot of them, yes.
I agree too.
The majority of them, yes.
Well, and but the question is Twitch still a video gaming platform? I mean, because it's how it started out.
Well, it's not, but you know, what I'm saying is that some of these girls will every now and then play a video game to try to get into that gaming community just to get viewers. If they were just a chatting channel, then fine. If that's what you want to do, you just want to be a pretty girl who chats with people online, fine. But the fact that they try to delve into gaming to kind of grow their audience is kind of, you know, women have no talent other than being born with better genetic lottery ticket than others.
These women, not just women in general. These women.
Oh yeah, these women.
Well, my whole thing is whether or not you are a gaming channel, or you're just chatting channel, or you're a body painting channel, whatever. Okay? I personally, even if you are doing this as your source of income, because I know streamers, and all of them are gamer streamers. I don't know any body painters, personally, but I know a lot of game streamers and game content creators who this is their source of income for their family. This is what they do for a living. And even after talking to them, you know, and seeing how their take on this is, even they're like, you don't shame people for not giving you money. Because not a lot of people understand the power of the non-sub. You know, here's the thing, and I hope somebody who thinks about streaming hears this, or somebody who thinks it's okay to shame people into paying hears it. The power of the non-sub is a big thing, because a non-sub will watch your channel, and if you're courteous and nice to your non-subs, you know what happens? They go out and they could tell other non-subs, hey, check out this guy, he's playing cool games, I watch him a lot. Hey, I've been watching this guy, and he's been playing this, and he found this out of DOS too, and blah, 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 blah.
I mean, your community promotes you so much more than you can even promote yourself.
Exactly. So the power of the non-sub is phenomenal. As soon as you start treating your community like shit because they're not giving you money, you've basically killed any goodwill you've built up.
What?
And that's just from a marketing standpoint. You know, we're not even talking about, like, you know, a humanitarian standpoint of the fact that right now you're going to shame people for not giving you money on Twitch when we are literally in the midst of whether you consider it a global pandemic or government overreach or whatever, people don't have expendable funds really right now. So you're going to shame people? Fuck right off with that shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think I think it circles back to my original question of like, what is she actually providing that is worthy of forcing someone to pay for it? And like, if you think you're providing content that requires payment, I mean, there is such thing as sub-only streams or sub-only VODs. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the whole point of Twitch is that it's public. People could watch you without even having a fucking account. Like they can't chat with you, but you could have viewers that don't even have an account. Are you gonna shame them for fucking not paying because you put yourself out there on a free fucking platform?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I don't get the shaming thing. Like, I don't, and I don't see how. And I'm gonna sound like a chauvinist here. I'm gonna sound like a chauvinist, but why does it always seem like it's, in all my experience with this situation, it's always women?
It is, yeah.
It's always a specific group of women, who have a specific mindset, who think that, well, I'm gracing you with my presence, so you need to, like, these are the type of women I feel like are like the highest of high maintenance girlfriends. I really feel like they're that type of person, and they give streamers in general bad names.
Yeah, they feel like they're, I'm this good looking girl, and I'm providing a service to all you nerds who usually wouldn't get a chance to talk to a pretty girl. So I'm providing that for you. You should pay me, and I'm better than you, or some shit. I think that's the mindset.
I don't. Most of her stuff is just chatting.
Most of her stuff just chatting. Yeah. But my whole thing is like, where does that mindset come from? Like, I don't.
Entitlement.
Is it just entitlement?
Yes.
I mean, okay, so you're a woman. Like, how do you feel about women who act like that as streamers?
They're fucking stupid.
Like, do you think it gives women or makes it harder for women to get into the streaming world and stuff like that? Is it a stigma?
No, I think because it's a pretty gamer girl, it makes it easier for them to get into it.
I would agree with that.
Because guys think with their lower region more often when a pretty girl shows up.
We do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's one of those things where their attitude and that I'm better than you because I'm fucking pretty is what kills it for a lot of other women.
What do you mean, like kills them for a lot of them as viewers, or as for people who want to get into streaming?
Both.
Okay. How so?
Because you don't see many female streamers that go on and they start playing games that don't have their makeup done, that don't have their hair done. They go all out because otherwise they're not going to get that viewership.
Oh, okay. So you're saying it sets a. So you're saying it
sets a standard for women.
Sets an expectation.
Oh yeah.
It sets a standard and an expectation from viewers. Yeah, because as.
So what you're saying is it hurts female gamers, not female women who are pretty who want to be a streamer. It hurts female gamers who actually are good at games and want to spread their joy of gaming through streams.
It hurts them big time.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Because now, instead of just being able to get on and play their game and be who they normally are,
they have to put on the facade.
Now, instead, it's, okay, well, let me spend an hour doing my hair, an hour doing my makeup. What shirt is low cut enough that I'm going to get the viewership that these other people are getting that aren't playing games? Or that aren't any good at them?
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, Soul Creek. I mean, they do. I agree that they do still have to work for their viewership, but I think the part of the struggle.
They don't have to grind as hard for it, though.
Yeah, but I think also
no pun intended.
Yeah.
I think also part of the struggle is that, you know, as a real gamer, they kind of have to filter through those
Leroy,
those types of viewers who are just looking to talk to a pretty girl. So, you know, the first thing the people are going to see is like, oh, is this a pretty girl playing a game? Maybe I can, you know, talk to her or whatever. So I think she kind of has to deal with that at first. Like, oh, the guy's just coming in and talk to me because I'm pretty. And then, you know, it gets to the point where they realize, oh, so you're just a gamer. You know, I can't really flirt with her like other girls and shit like that. So I think they kind of have to deal with that initial.
And I think it also comes from the fact that most of their population of viewers, for these quote unquote, I'm not going to use the term because it is kind of derogatory and Twitch looks for derogatory terms like that. But you guys know what T term I'm thinking about. But most of these individuals who use gaming or use streaming and or gaming in the way that we're discussing about, now I lost my train of thought. but they're, God, I lost my train of thought. I had a whole thought process, and it is one of those days, isn't it?
It is. It's because you're so focused on not saying the T word, apparently.
Well, yeah, because Twitch will hunt us down and say we're chauvinistic pigs.
You know, that might be something there, Soul Creek. I think, Nerdy, if you and I were to wear makeup, we might get more views.
Like makeup like Kiss? Or like makeup like, you know...
Whatever.
Now you're gonna have to do it one day.
Just anything. Just
do like a Kiss fucking cosplay.
Just have Nerdy wife do your makeup for you before the stream, and we'll be fine.
No, you can't. You can't help me. I am.
I hardly do my own makeup.
Yeah,
I just don't care enough.
Oh, that's where I was going with that. That their population of viewers. For these individuals, their population of viewers is mostly young people. And by young people, I mean between ages over 13, because Switch's requirement is 13, but 13 to 21, I would say, is their maybe up to 25. Because once you get to the age that you and I are at, we don't care. Like I'm not going to give money. And not only do I not care, I'm smart enough to know that there are other places I can get that from, and I can get a whole lot more than I'm going to get on Twitch. Let's be clear. I don't care about some low-cut wearing T-shirt person on Twitch, where I know I can go to other sites where I can get a hell of a lot more than a low-cut T-shirt, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I don't care.
Yeah, I think the appeal for some of these guys is because, like, you know, as much as I talked about the girl feeling like she's providing the service for nerds, like, there are actually nerds out there who just find it easier to talk to a girl when you have something to relate to, and, you know, video games is something they can relate to. And
yeah, but that's predatory, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's very predatory, because playing into that stigma of, okay, this group of individuals are socially awkward when in environments with females, unless there's something that they can relate to with them, i.e., like in their own nerdy world.
It's the instant icebreaker, though.
But they're literally preying on those individuals who have that problem. By saying, okay, well, you should pay me because I'm giving you this service. I'm talking to you, and no other woman would. Like, that's predatory, in my opinion, because there are people, as a person myself...
Fucked up is what it is, but...
I'm sorry?
Fucked up.
It is fucked up, because as a person that who is socially awkward around people in person and dealt with that a lot when I was younger. You know, even to this day, if I get into groups of people where I don't know, nerdy wife knows. She drags me to her Christmas party for work every year.
Oh, yeah.
I am uncomfortable the whole time. I don't like being around people I don't know. I don't like being in places I'm not. Never been. I'm very much a creature of habits. You know,
I'm still not sure how we managed to have our first conversation.
Because the army threw us together. If we would have been out in normal, in the normal wild, we probably would have never met.
Wild.
But the army threw us together. That's how.
Is the army not the wild?
No. The army's like a zoo.
Okay.
They put us up in cages and they tell us when, or circus, and they tell us when to jump and perform, and then we go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Maintained chaos.
Yeah. Speaking about easy to get high girls, half of my WoW guild is female, and never any weirdness there because they're gamers first. They want to play, and that's
WoW
the
gamers
difference.
are another breed.
Yeah.
But that's the difference, though, Mr. Soul Creek. These T's are not gamers first. They are literally here to prey upon younger men, or younger women, depending on which way you swing, who have issues or have problems talking with women in person, who are socially awkward, and then they're presented with this person who puts up the facade of caring about them or wanting to get to know them, or they're basically the same as strippers, if you've ever been to a strip club, who acts like, oh, they care about you, blah, 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 they want to hear your story. No, they don't. They just want you to stick a fucking 20 in their G-string. That's what they really want, and that's what these T-words really want when you come to their stream. But that's predatory. At least in a strip club, you know what you're going there for.
Did I allow that word? When did I allow that word? Last I remember, it was blocked.
What, the T word?
Yeah. Not that I care. I don't care. Whatever.
But you know what I mean? That's how I feel about them. They're predators.
Yeah.
I think Twitch just thinks people don't know how to spell with that word.
Because it's just, it's just, and again, like we've mentioned before, it creates a stigma, it creates an expectation, it creates this whole world or this whole requirement for female gamers.
I did unblock it. Okay, whatever.
It creates this expectation for female gamers who are who are actually contributing members to the community. It fucks up their ability to grow as a channel, and that in itself is bad. I don't like it. I think that Twitch
singular is blocked, not plural.
So you can talk about a group of them, but not a single.
Wait, since when was fucking also blocked? Someone say fucking right now.
Fucking.
No, in chat. Wow, yeah, see, plural is not... Okay. That's... Wow, Twitch is dumb.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, fucking isn't blocked. Okay.
But yeah, that's my mind. That's my thought process on it.
Maybe it's because you used both words in the same sentence, so they thought it was too much.
These people ruin the image of female streamers who work for their fame. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely, they do. 100% they do.
How did that get through? Oh, Soul Creek. Okay. Soul Creek, I didn't approve you to allow that word.
But yes, they absolutely have ruined the image for female gamers, female streamers.
That's true. I gave you too much power.
Oh yeah, Soul Creek. It's really not my channel anymore. It's really Soul Creek's channel. He just allows me to use it.
Yeah.
You're just the face. He does the rest.
But yeah, that's my viewpoint. Like, I know a lot of gamer channels, gamer streamers. I can't ever say her name. Nagarex, whatever her name is. I know her. She's a gamer first. I know Evil Bunny. I don't know if she's still in here. I know she's a streamer.
Yeah.
I know Evil Bunny's a streamer. I wouldn't helped out her friend when she was trying to make affiliate. What was her? I'm in her Discord and I can't remember her name. I'm a bad person. Tia Wag. I went there. She's a gamer first. Heck, she was wearing the freaking hoodie for the game she was playing.
I loved her hoodie.
It was, but she wasn't there trying to promote like her boobies.
No,
she was promoting her love for the game. You know what I mean? That's But to be fair, there's a woman that I follow, but that is because of her voice. The fact that she happens to be a fucking gorgeous sweet on the other.
Wait, what's her name?
Okay, Leroy, there are people that...
What's her name? I might know a Swedish girl.
I straight up unfollowed.
Oh, she doesn't use Facecam. Okay,
because
never mind.
They just sound annoying as hell.
Yeah.
So, the voice I get.
Yeah. Well, and my whole thing is that's fine. We're not saying that every person... We're not saying that every pretty girl who gets on Twitch is like this. Not every pretty girl who gets on Twitch is a T-word, and not every pretty girl who is just chatting on Twitch is a T-word. It's the ones that have this expectation and are predatory.
Well, no, I mean, because Evil Bunny's friend that, we both watch, she's gorgeous, and she is one of the nicest freaking people ever.
Yes.
And she is just awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But... Well, we didn't hop on and support her because she's pretty. Well, we support her because she's awesome.
Right. And look at Tara. Tara has been streaming on 22's channel for a while. She's been on there occasionally playing games. I think the first time I really watched 22's channel was when Tara was playing
Bayonetta.
No, she didn't stream on there.
Bayonetta. She was playing Bayonetta. She was there to be a gamer first. She was there to talk about what she was doing first. And I'm not saying it's just gamers, but she wasn't there to exploit her body to get money from a group of individuals. She wasn't preying upon it. She was there to be her, And I think that's what Twitch is supposed to be.
That's what it's supposed to be, but you have way too many of the girls that go on. It's like, okay, well, because I'm a gamer and I'm going to play this dancing game with my shorts that show my ass and my low cut top.
And no bra.
Yeah.
But
they're a gamer. Bitch, no, you're not. That's like me saying I'm a hardcore gamer because back in the day I played DDR.
Yeah.
No.
Although I did love
watching. That is not what that is.
Although I love watching you play that game. That was an experience. Why do you think I bought you all the pads and mats?
You didn't buy this for me.
I did buy at least one of them for you. I did buy at least.
One of my mats broke.
Yeah, I did buy them. I made sure you had those pads and mats for. Do you want another one? There are other dancing games that you can play. Just saying. Hey, if I'm watching you, I don't have to give you money.
Are you?
Until she starts demanding it.
That is a fair point. Until she starts demanding it. Oh,
before you know it, you're just going to start seeing things in the Amazon cart.
Yeah. After you start
Here's
dancing.
your clue.
Yeah, after you start dancing, it'll be hey, I need this. I need this. I danced for you yesterday. Bitch, you didn't dance like that. You danced to Baby Shark. Oh, my goodness. All right. What's our next topic for today?
I don't even know.
Let's see.
Let me check.
Wife, you were going to do a segment on movie theaters and movies and stuff like that.
I don't know if I even still have that information. I mean, there was the whole thing of... What was it?
Because for people who don't know, here in the U.S., one of the new requirements, the requirements and steps on reopening the economy have come out from the federal government, and all the states seem to be adopting this requirement. One of the things that's allowed to open first, bizarrely, is movie theaters. And considering movies are a part of nerd culture, I started looking into it. I don't see how movie theaters in general are going to bounce back from this, at least very quickly.
Yeah.
They'll get some of the government bailout.
Well, but even
the
then,
big theaters
though,
will. But even then, not a lot of them will, because you figure, I don't even know the name of it because there's not very many of them anymore. But there was that one theater that has been, dying for years.
AMC? Is it AMC or
no? Not AMC. What in the hell is it?
I don't know which one, but I think I know which one you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it. But yeah, there's a movie theater company for 5 years. But the point is, even if they reopen the movie theaters, what are you going to watch? Everything has been either delayed or production has stopped or has come out digitally already.
Who's going to be comfortable enough with actually going to a movie theater, though?
A lot of stupid people.
Yeah.
That's true.
A lot of stupid people.
The same people who went to Florida and partied for spring break.
Yeah.
Your cousin was one of those people.
You know, on that
cousin.
topic...
Which cousin?
Jen
or Rachel?
I don't know. Which one's still in school? One of them graduated. But anyways, one of them was...
In Florida?
In Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
Spring break.
On that topic, it's, with what we're going through right now, it's just so scary to think about how much power one fucking idiot has to fuck everything up for everybody else.
Well,
all it takes is one person,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to get too deep into that in the sense of politics-wise. I don't agree with what's going on in the government in general.
No, I'm not talking about the government. I'm just talking about, one stupid individual can go out and do some dumb shit and just fuck everything up for everyone else.
Well, yeah, it's like the army. One dumb private did this, and now we have to have a safety brief about not putting everybody in the trunk and trying to sneak through the freaking front gate. That was a thing in the unit I was in, by the way. But anyway, so movie theaters in general, there aren't any movies that didn't come out digitally already. All of the movies that were scheduled to release in April, and I think even May.
No. A lot of movies set to come out April, May, and June are all pushed back.
I thought they digitally released a ton of them.
They released a few, but not many. A lot of them are getting pushed back, which is screwing with the entire release schedule. So stuff that was supposed to come out in the spring is now taking a slot of something that was going to come out in the fall. So it's pushed everything back.
What is this, Leroy? Are you still talking about streamers?
Yeah, but that in itself is going to screw up the industry anyway, because now you're going to have blockbuster movies coming out at the wrong time. They're not going to make the money they need to make.
Because you figure all the Marvel movies. Let's see here.
All of them came out around
So
yeah, Black Widow got delayed.
And a lot of those Marvel movies got delayed. They're not gonna just go straight to digital, but that messed up the entire line of releases for the Marvel movie.
Well,
yeah.
So I mean, they're shuffling them around. They're releasing them in orders. It turned into a mess for those ones.
Yeah, well, I don't think any industry is going to bounce back. At least in the U.S., I don't think any industry is going to bounce back properly. And I think nerd culture industries are getting hit the hardest. I know people are like, "Oh, first world problems," but let's be realistic. I mean, nerd culture stuff is getting hit the hardest.
Well, and you figure Jurassic World is another movie that was supposed to be coming out.
Really?
They completely stopped production.
Hey, Cos, thanks for the follow.
Cosmos is here?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see him in chat.
I don't think he's chatted yet.
Well, but here's the thing, the whole, when I say nerd culture is getting attacked, or not attacked, but getting affected the most. I mean, think about the things that are getting affected the most by the corona situation in the U.S. Movie theaters are closed, and, movies are going to go up in price, and they're going to become inaccessible by the normal nerd.
There he is. He just got here.
GameStop, depending on how you feel about GameStop, it is still in the U.S. the major and only retailer that is focused specifically on video games. And they were damn near going out of business before this happened. I can guarantee that they won't bounce back out of this.
Wait, who won't?
GameStop.
Oh no, they're
dead. They're dead. My GameStop credit card. If I'm gonna buy it now, because it's gonna be useless here soon.
No, they will hold on for maybe a year, but that would be after closing like half their stores, just trying to stay afloat.
Local game shops in the U.S., most of them are owned by small business, mom and pop type business owners. They will not bounce back from this. So the place where you go play Magic the Gathering, or you go play Warhammer, or any other tabletop game or board game, those little mom and pop shops, they won't bounce back from this. Comic book shops barely make ends meet as it is nowadays. They won't bounce back from this. You're going to see an entire grouping of nerd type industries that are going to disappear. And it makes me wonder what's going to happen. I think what's going to happen, I can almost gauge what's going to happen, is nerd culture in general for the next year or two is going to stagnate. Because with these comic book shops closing, you know what else is going to stagnate? You're going to see comic book companies, even the big ones, Marvel and DC. They're not going to be publishing as many comic books because they're not going to be selling as many comic books.
Those, instead of going to a comic store to get the newest one that came out, is going to turn into like a magazine subscription. You will pay them, they'll mail it to your house. That is what they'll end up having to switch it over to.
Yeah, I mean, and Leroy's saying games are actually doing games are doing okay, but there's an aspect of gaming in the gaming industry that has to be done. A lot of stuff has to be done with, they're not able to promote with some contact
as much.
Yeah, things take longer when you have people away from each other. For example, you and Leroy, you know better than I, because you're going to school to do just what we're talking about. But it's one thing to have your group of developers who are working on this part of the game, and your group of developers working on this part of the game in an office building, maybe a floor apart, and you say, okay, we need to have a meeting about this because these are the changes that need to happen, versus saying, oh, I need to contact everybody who's home, everybody here, and I can't get all of them on the same time frame, and now I got to have this. Everything inherently takes longer. And I'm sure AD can relate to this, having been in the military. Everything takes longer when you don't have everybody in the. It just inherently takes longer.
Yeah.
Not only does that inherently take longer, because that takes longer, it'll take longer for certain things to get done for them to make adjustments or anything. So that's why all these video games are getting pushed back. They're getting pushed back because things are going to take longer for people working from home. Not only that, a lot of video game companies, I'm going to tell you this right now, a lot of video game companies, if we're still doing the Corona, two-step, the Corona dance, or whatever you want to call it.
The Corona shuffle.
Yeah, if we're still doing that come the autumn here in the U.S., come fall, which a lot of people are thinking that's going to happen. We're going to release a little bit in the summer, and then it's going to spike, and they're going to put us on lockdown again in the fall. Be prepared to see these games that delayed till September, October, November, December, delayed to that time frame, to delay again.
I don't think they will.
I can guarantee they will. I can guarantee they will,
because at that point they'll need the money.
They will hold them. They will hold the games.
I don't think so.
Because they cannot. No, because they can't. They won't be able to meet the pre-order requirement. Because production requires people to go to work, to package, and to print the discs and the hard copies.
That, but
so they will hold them.
I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of.
I honestly think that we're not going to see the new consoles this
year. No,
especially if we're doing the Corona Shuffle. If we're doing the Corona Shuffle, I think that the idea of the new consoles releasing this holiday season is not obtainable. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, with the consoles, I could see that, but I think with games, like,
I think the games will release just fine.
Yeah, because this is the best time
to release it for the new console.
This is the best time for games, really, because that's what people are doing.
But it's not that this is the best time for games to come out because people are going to be playing them. It's the fact that they can't get them out, especially physical copy. You know, people who buy things physically, you know, and there's still a good portion of the market that does that.
Me.
They can't get that. You know, consoles, they can't go out and they can't produce them because the industries who are, you know, make the parts and actually assemble the consoles are either closed down or they're so limited that it's taking much longer for them to do it. I really don't think we're going to see, if we're still doing the Corona Shuffle in the autumn around October, I don't think we're going to be seeing these console releases. I don't think that if we're still
doing... Or if they do release, they're going to be expensive.
Oh, they're going to be more expensive either way. I can guarantee that the new systems won't be less than $600. And I think that's going to hurt the systems in general. I think that Microsoft has seen this coming. This is why that they have made the Game Pass thing accessible for PC. They know that if consoles come out and they're $600+, people are just going to buy a gaming PC. Their gaming population is going to move to gaming PC. Because at that point, why spend $600 on a console that can only play games on the console when you can spend maybe $100 or $200, get a mid to low range gaming PC that can play any game you want, except for maybe the exclusives that are on PlayStation. And that PlayStation is not going to be able to rest on those laurels much longer. Not if they're going to be selling a PlayStation for $600+.
They won't be able to afford to.
So, you know, you can play any game, you can do work on a gaming PC, it's just more versatile in general versus just having a gaming console. So I think things are going to change in that aspect in nerd culture, especially in the gaming culture. For a long time, the PC master race has been, quote unquote, the master race, and it's all been console peasants in their minds. I'm joking. But I think that the PC master race here very soon is really going to be the master race, and the minority will be console players. Except for niche consoles. I think the Switch will be fine. I think Nintendo will be okay. But I think Xbox and PlayStation are going to get hit hard if they think they're going to be able to sell consoles.
Nintendo has always just survived on it in its own world, really. It has its own... It has a different niche to it. So
It does. But you know what I mean? Like I think that we're going to see a drastic change in culture very soon. And it was coming anyway. I think this change was coming anyway, but I think it's more so been accelerated because of present day events. So but yeah, that's what I'm looking at. That's what Let's see. Leroy says, depending on the automation in factories, I think they can still be made. So I think they will still be made. Making the blueprints from home and inputting that into the machine is just keeping people spaced out enough. So I think this current thing is a bit blown out of proportion. Well, Leroy, I agree with you. I just don't want to get into it here. And I think AD agrees. There's a lot of people who feel that it's been out of proportion. But overall, I think it's going to cause a stagnation in nerd culture. I think nerd culture in general is one of the groups of individuals who is going to be hardest. Probably the only group that's hit harder than nerd culture at this point in time is sports culture, sports fans.
Yeah.
They literally have nothing right now. I mean, nothing. So, I don't know. I think that we're going to see more delays. I think if we're still doing the step in fall, that this will be the least productive and least amount of releases that we will ever see in gaming. However, there is a silver lining in this. And I say this because this could be a good thing. Say, for example, we don't get any new releases this fall. JD, now think about this for a second.
Agreed, Leroy.
Say we don't see any new gaming releases this fall. That means that they would push all the releases to next fall. And they would give them an entire year to polish the game. I think that would be, in a sense, good, because remember, Assassin's Creed was doing yearly releases every single year. And then they said, you know what? After Unity, we're just gonna take a year off so we can make a good game. And then we got Origins. And Origins was by far the best Assassin's Creed game since 2 that they had put out. Or Black Flag. I really like Black Flag.
The only reason why you really like that because you could...
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Be a pirate?
Yeah, I liked it because it would be a pirate. But yeah.
That was the only thing. Like, you didn't do anything else in it other than play on the fucking boat.
Origins was a masterpiece compared to every other Assassin's Creed game they had done. Maybe that's the jumpstart the gaming community needs. We're getting a lot of shit. In the last year and a half, we've had a lot of shit releases. Games that, if they would have given the proper cooking time in the oven and been given, a look over by a QA/QC department, and they could have been good, but they didn't. Ones that come to mind: Anthem, Fallout 76.
Yeah, Brotherhood was good too.
A bunch of those games. If they would have been given the time that they needed, they might have been really good games.
Yeah, but at the same time, Final Fantasy took its time to build out and constantly revamp, because I know they redid it a few times, and they took their time to build out a shitty battle system. So it's not always great to have time, because time sometimes means you just come up with new ideas and that are probably shitty.
Yeah, it also
the
creates
boredom ideas.
It also creates the hype train.
Yeah.
Speaking of boredom ideas,
I'm actually kind of worried. Speaking of what, I'm sorry?
The boredom ideas. I wonder if Rui knows that they're making a Monster Hunter live action movie.
Oh, I'm sure he does. But, I mean, damn it, that woman.
Did we talk?
Train of thought. Just fucking blew it out.
We talked about that offline, didn't we? Yeah, we haven't mentioned that yet.
We did. We talked about that last week.
Like the movie?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought we talked about it.
No, because we canceled the show last week.
Oh, yeah.
Talked about it.
He knows and he probably hates it. We all know, and we collectively ignore this fact. Really? So the community doesn't want a Monster Hunter movie?
Not when it looks the way it does. I don't even know Monster Hunter, and it looks stupid. Like the movie looks stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look great.
It's one of those things where I want to see it just to see how bad they fuck it up.
Yeah,
well, that's how it is with all video game movies. You just want to see it.
But there are certain video game movies that did the fuck up well enough that it became iconic. Okay? I personally love the Mortal Kombat movies.
I mean, yeah, they're enjoyable for the cheesiness that they are. But
I love Mortal Kombat movies.
So, Craig, don't they already have a Mario movie?
That's not a Mario movie.
Oh.
That doesn't even count.
You need a movie.
Mario Brothers movie is great when you get drunk. Yeah, it is. But no, I loved Mortal Kombat games. I mean, but the same guy who directed the Mortal Kombat movies is directing this one. So it could become the next iconic movie where it's just so bad it's great. I would be okay with that. I think it would be funny. The movie industry cannot put games into movies. Yeah, there hasn't been a gaming movie to date that was really, really good, I don't think.
Not
good in the sense that was good, like, a good movie. They're
not really good, but I think one that was done well was Sonic.
I haven't seen Sonic yet.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I think the problem that most gaming movies do is that they take themselves too seriously. And I think Sonic does it well. Because it's just a comedy. It's just a fun movie.
That's fair. I mean, to be entirely honest, I liked Warcraft, but a lot of the fans of the game did not, because it changed a lot of stuff. So, I mean, it was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. It told the base story. But yeah, well, and I know a lot of people will jump on the bandwagon and say, "Oh, but the Witcher TV show, that's a good game." It's really not, guys.
It wasn't a game. It was
based off the book.
Yeah.
It's following the books more than it's following the game.
Yeah, the game was based off of the book. So the Witcher series is not a series based on a game. It's based on a book. So
yeah, so
it doesn't really fit.
I don't think. Yeah, I can't think of a single. Not even TV shows can I think of that were based off video games that were good. I mean, what TV show? They had a Mario cartoon when I was little. They had a Sonic cartoon when I was little.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Sonic cartoons, I hardly ever saw them, but I think they were enjoyable. I think, kids like them.
Oh yeah, but kids are easy to please.
But yeah, but that's who they're made for. The Sonic and Mario cartoons weren't made for the adults who liked the games.
The Warcraft movie was too much story for one movie. I will agree with that. That worked. For all the times in Hollywood that they love to split things up, they took the Hobbit book and made it into 3 movies. For all the times that they love to do stuff like that, that movie would have benefited so much from being split into maybe 2 movies.
Adult Sonic fans scare you.
Really? Yeah, I agree, Mr. Soul Creek. That was the biggest problem with the Warcraft movie was they went too fast. They crammed too much into it at once.
Well, because I wanted to watch it, and you told me that I can't watch it without you because you'll have to explain everything to me.
Yes,
that's what I would need if I were to watch it.
Well, then that's the problem with it, though. For the person who played all the Warcraft games, Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, and played WoW, I fell out of WoW after a certain point, but for a person who knows the lore and actually read some of the novels and stuff like that, this movie made sense because they would introduce a character and you knew who that character was. You knew their significance. But they didn't portray that character's significance in the movie, so people were lost as to why it was focusing so much, and they jumped from character to character really fast. So what they should have done with Warcraft also is they focused on a point in the Warcraft franchise that really wasn't a high point. See, what they should have done, and I know I'm getting into. Hey, Rango, what's up, bud?
Sent you a message.
I know I saw the message. I just didn't reply because we're in the show. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. I got, damn, people, you guys are good at this. No, what they should have done is that they should have done a movie based upon the high point in the Warcraft series. They should have done a movie based around the fall of Arthas. That would have been an amazing movie. Because then you could focus it on one character, you could focus it on Arthas' fall to become the Lich King. That would have been amazing. That storyline would have been great. Because then they could have caught the viewers, caught everybody, and then they could have gone back and done the others. Or they could have written additional stories in reference to Arthas and the world.
Yeah, but maybe the problem
was they chose the beginning, which was kind of, it's smart from a storytelling perspective, but they rushed too much of it, and it's not the high point in the story.
Yeah, but maybe the problem was that they didn't know if they were gonna do more than one, so they tried to cram everything into this one.
They should have started with Arthas, though. I'm telling you, that would have been the smart move. Because it's basically, the fall of Arthas is like watching the fall of Anakin Skywalker. And instead of like fucking having lightsabers and spaceships, you have, dwarfs with axes and pretty ladies with magic. That's, I mean, come on. You can't go any better than that. So. But I mean, if you think about it, fantasy movies in general have a hard time. Other than The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings series, can you name another fantasy movie that has done well?
Avatar.
Avatar? What do you mean Avatar?
Avatar did well. It's a fantasy.
Avatar's sci-fi.
Oh.
I'm talking about fantasy with dragons and...
Yeah, Avatar did well, but it's a shitty movie, in my opinion.
You didn't like Avatar? One. Really?
It sucked.
Why didn't? Oh, okay, that's fair. I mean, preference, but I'm talking like, name a movie other than The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit that took fantasy and did it well. I honestly have a hard time thinking of one that did it well. That was a blockbuster. I honestly can't think of one. Can you?
I don't know. Fantasy movies aren't really my thing.
Like Aragon came out. I thought it was a good movie, but it bombed. It did not do well. And a lot of people gave it shit.
Harry Potter counts.
Does Harry Potter count? That's not proper fantasy.
What's proper fantasy?
Well, okay. It is fantasy, but it's modern age fantasy. And it's an amalgamation of present world and it it appeals to people because it's present. I'm talking about fantasy like, hey, we're telling a story about a far off place or an ancient land or something like Skyrim the movie.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like there hasn't been one that has been done that did well. Dragonheart? I loved Dragonheart. Dragonheart was an amazing, one of my favorite movies as a kid. But would you say that movie did well? I mean, Sean Connery voiced the dragon. They had what's-his-face, who played in Waterworld and everything. He was a popular actor at the time.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah, I think it was Kevin Costner. He played the main character that worked with the dragon. But I don't know if I would say it did well. High fantasy settings, yeah, that's what I mean. High fantasy.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of a single.
What about the Fantastic Beasts?
Fantastic Beasts is still not high fantasy. It's still an amalgamation of present day, real world stuff. High fantasy is like you're playing Skyrim, Morrowind, Oblivion, Pillars of Eternity, Divinity Original Sin. Stuff like that, where it has nothing to do with this world. There is no connection. The Witcher 3. It's just in their own world with fantastical beasts, elves, and dwarves, and high fantasy.
I love how you say fantastical beasts, and that's the name of the fucking
movie.
But
you know what I mean. Freaking nitpicking.
Just saying.
Words. Making a movie about books is also going to be fucking hard because bookworms will never be satisfied until every single letter written in the book is shown on the screen, creating a movie that outlasts the dream of. Well, here's the thing, though. There have been movies that have done better than their books. Jurassic Park comes to mind. Now, the people who've read the books, I've heard this many times, have said they liked the books better. But Jurassic Park, and I'm not talking about the sequels and the new ones and the New World, Jurassic World ones. I'm just talking about Jurassic Park, the movie, was based off of a book.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Really? Jurassic Park was based off a book, yes. There's a whole book series for it.
I feel like you would need to actually see it for that to work, though. How does that work as a book?
What?
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park?
I don't know. I don't read.
It's the same way that any
really
any kind of horror movie
works. No, for real. I don't read books, so I don't really know anything about these books and movie comparisons.
That's another one that I think they did really well. It's a movie, The Shining. Stephen King's The Shining is a great, terrifying, great book. But I honestly think I like the movie more than the book. There's lots of movies that were based on books that did.
Well, and some really do cross over well, but the reason why most of the movies don't live up to your expectations, if it was a book, is because you already have it in your mind when you're reading.
Oh, yeah.
What the character looks like, how they talk. I mean, all of it is already figured out the way you imagine it.
Yeah.
And then the movie comes out and it's not right. It doesn't match up to what you imagine.
I completely agree with that. That's why.
Although chick flick version wise, the book The Help, the movie was dead on.
Really?
Yes. The movie was dead on for that one. There's another, again, chick flick, but there's a book that was written by Nicholas Sparks. And the movie for that one was another one that was dead on. And I didn't even realize
what about,
that it was
kind of nerd, because nerds seem to really like this movie series. What about 50 Shades of Grey?
That's not a nerd movie.
It's kind of a nerd movie. I see a lot of nerdy people like those books. Was the book and the movie dead on?
No.
No? Not even?
No.
I was just curious.
50 Shades is trash.
50 Shades is trash. That's a perv movie?
It's basically rape.
You're getting all sorts of junk on that one.
It's basically rape.
No, it's not.
It's rape.
I watched it enough to know it's not. No, it's not. It dives into the whole sub and dom culture or whatever it is, right? Is that what it is? Being submissive and dominant or whatever.
I mean, it's...
Nerds don't know sex.
How can it be a nerd movie? Nerds don't know sex. I mean, that's what... No, I'm going to quote a movie for this one. I'm going to quote a movie. No, nerds are the best ones at sex. And I'm going to quote a movie for this. In the movie Revenge of the Nerds, when the nerd finally gets to the girl, she's like, oh my god, I can't believe, how are you so good at that? And he explains it. The nerd explains it. He says, well, the jocks, all they think about is sports and fast cars and stuff like that. Nerds, all we think about is sex all the time.
So we appreciate it more.
Yeah.
See, that's a good point. It's not rape because the guy's rich.
No.
That's not how that works.
No.
And he's good looking.
And that is pushing to a very, very touchy subject.
Yeah, let's not go there anymore. Yeah, let's leave that one alone.
Whatever. Fuck 50 Shades.
Anyway, other movies that are good
books. Anyways,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like,
anyways, that chick flick I was talking about is called Safe Haven.
I mean, there are books, and there are movies that are based on books I think are. That's my point. Like, they did better than the book. There are TV shows that did better than the books. Most people haven't read the Witcher books. The Witcher TV show came out. Not only did the game get a drastic increase in sales, but the books did too.
Forrest Gump is a book.
Sex is a myth. Oh my god. Okay, I think we've rattled on long enough before this chat gets out of hand. Any other topics you want to hit today, AD?
Sex? No, not sex. Okay.
Fallout. Oh, we talked about that earlier a little bit, Rango. I bought it. I'll probably be getting a copy of it here in the next couple of weeks. We'll probably be taking a look at it when we find time. Right, AD?
Yeah.
But hey, just heads up though, Rango has voluntarily gotten the Fallout first. He paid for it.
Okay.
So he has a private server we can all play on.
Cool.
So we'll be able to do that. So thank you, Rango. We do appreciate it once we get around to doing it in the next couple weeks. So we'll be able to do it without having people check it. As I have heard good things. But yeah, I've got nothing else. You got anything?
Holy shit! My bitrate bar has been jumping drastically.
Well,
Fucking Twitch, man.
It's twitching, man. I'm sorry. But let's end it here before it twitches too much.
All right, guys, we're gonna end it before Twitch forces us to end it. So
we'll be back next week, hopefully with Tara too.
Next week she should be back, unless other life happens, because life sucks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it does right now.
Accurate.
But we'll be back next week, hopefully with some more cool topics for you guys to.
Hopefully, I'll have Final Fantasy finished.
Yeah, we can talk about the ending then a little bit.
Yeah.
But honestly, we'll have some other topics that you guys will probably divert into inappropriate conversations. Good job, chat. You're always good for that one.
Well, I'll report back on the sex once I find out more about it. So.
Oh wait! Before we go, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it because I already brought them.
Oh.
These are the underwears. Yep.
Yeah. For $15 a month, you guys can get your own cool undies. Super
King
soft,
bunnies,
apparently.
Creatures.
Some shit. I don't know.
Hey, look! It feels like an angel is cradling your privates with a cloud. It's wonderful.
Unlock sex at level 35. Okay, I'm a few levels away from that.
All right, but we'll be back next week, guys, for some more Untitled Nerd Show.
I'll have to do some grinding before I can do the grinding. You know what I mean?
Oh no, my God, it's got. AD and I will be back on Wednesday with probably some more Raft, or maybe a look at another game. We'll find out. But AD, you streaming this evening at all?
Nah.
I mean, this is usually the time I would tell you guys what's releasing in the next week or so, but
let's do that. Well, let's look. Actually, while we were talking earlier, I pulled up a thing for May releases. So
I don't think there is. Well, there is one game that just came out yesterday that I do want us to play together. AD.
What's that?
The Predator game came out yesterday.
Okay.
Predator Hunting Grounds. I do really want to play that just because I'm a huge Predator fan.
Female classes unlock the sex at level 16. Okay. Female classes deal more damage. This is interesting stuff.
I don't think we have any really big video games coming out.
I like how Nerdy just ignores the sex talk.
I mean, it's usually what I do. I'm more in tune with the physical aspects of sex, not the.
Okay, it looks like a lot of Switch releases in May. Nothing special, just remasters and.
Let's see. Well, and then next week we have on PlayStation 4. Nothing, unless you're into Snow Runner.
What is that?
Where you play as a truck driver who drives through the snow.
Okay, whatever.
You have a game called Sakura Wars. I don't know what it is, some JRPG thing. And a game called Moving Out. Yeah, there's nothing coming out that's really that interesting, guys, that I can find.
Next month, the Switch and PS4 get the Wonderful 101 remastered.
The hell is that?
It's like an action game, kind of like a what is it described as? Cross between Bayonetta and Pikmin.
How the hell do you mix those two things up?
Man, I don't know. They did it.
I mean, the end of the month, there's a big game coming out for Xenoblade fans.
Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
Yeah.
Bioshock the Collection. Borderlands Collection. XCOM Collection. Switch is getting a lot of shit. A lot of collections.
But as far as like new games, there's really not anything, which is sad because May actually had a lot of games in it. Like back in January, May was an exciting month, and now it's not.
May was supposed to be my Last of Us replay right before the second one came out, but
we were supposed to be playing Wasteland 3 together, but that's not happening now.
I thought that one was still coming out.
Wasteland 3? No, that's now in like September. Yeah, there's just not a whole lot, guys. I'm sorry to say it, but it isn't. Streets of Rage 4 is supposed to come out April 30th.
That's interesting. I was a big beat 'em up fan.
Is that as like a Double Dragon? Did you do like Double Dragon?
I did the Double Dragon. Streets of Rage, Final Fight, all that shit.
Streets of Rage 4. Is it still coming out? Are they? Yeah, they're gonna release it. It's one of the things in the middle of a pandemic. I don't know what. So are they giving them crap for it? High pressure launch for whatever. Isn't that like you could do 2-player? We could do co-op on that, AD.
On what?
Streets of Rage 4, on Streets of Rage 4, I think.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
If you like beat 'em ups like Double Dragon, that could be fun. It's been a long time since I played a game like that.
Yeah, me too. Probably like Super Nintendo days.
I think it's even longer for me because I think the last game I played was like Dragon 2 or whatever. First one, Nintendo.
Wait, which one?
Double Dragon. Or this? Are you talking about this game or what this game is or what?
No, I didn't hear what you had just said.
Like the last time I played like a proper beat 'em up game like Double Dragon or Streets of Rage or something. That could be fun.
Well, what's that other game that we have on the...
What other game? We got a lot of games on the Xbox.
I know.
We've got like 7 Xboxes in the house. I mean,
no, it's a fighting game.
The what?
It's a fighting game.
The fighting game.
Is it a fighting game or is it a beat 'em up?
I mean, name a game in my gaming library other than maybe Animal Crossing that we don't fight something.
We played a little different.
No, a fighting. Do you not know what a fighting game is?
I mean, are you talking about the superhero one?
Yeah.
But that's not a beat 'em up game.
I don't know.
What superhero one?
What the hell is that fighting one?
Injustice?
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna play a fighting game on stream because AD would probably kick my ass consistently. Like it wouldn't even be a fight. He's Asian.
I used to be a big fighting game dude. That was
told you.
That was one
told you.
But I'm probably rusty.
He's Asian.
I don't know.
He'll kick my ass. It'll look like I'd be like learning to punch, and you'd be like shooting Haryukens at me.
This is really racist right now.
It's not a racist comment.
It's not racist if it's true.
I know. It's a stereotype that you are actually living. But no, a beat 'em up game is something like Double Dragon or Streets of Rage. Well, I'm about to explain it to you. Where the whole concept of the game is where it's basically a side scroller, and you just beat up people to get to the next side scroll events.
Gotcha. Okay.
There weren't any guns. And usually, like back in the day, they
were
like
very arcade game.
Yes,
it is. It's an
arcade-ish. Yes, okay. Very arcadey.
That X-Men arcade game was my shit back in the day.
Which X-Men one? There was a couple.
I don't remember. It was just an arcade game that I played.
I know the Ninja Turtles ones was my shit.
Oh yeah, that one too. Those were awesome.
The Ninja Turtles one was fun.
You enjoyed Devil May Cry 5, but can't not get in. Well, those are different. Fighting games are different.
Yeah, fighting games are different than.
Because I love Devil May Cry, but I'm not really into fighting games like I used to be.
Yeah.
They're just different.
I really never was into them. I used to find like the cheapest way to win, be like, crouching and
Yeah.
I was that guy. But all right, guys, we gotta end this. On how long, 80? At least 2 hours. Like.
2.5 hours.
All right, we gotta end this. It's too long. We're
overtime.
We're starting to ramble.
Hey, we went overtime. You guys should be giving us money for the extra time we put in.
Oh God! Now, see, look, it's turned into this.
See, and now it's gone too
far. 80. You got to do it like this. You got to give us money, guy.
We stuck around for you guys and gave you entertainment for all you losers out there who have no one else to talk to. Okay?
I know.
Give us some fucking money. And on that note, goodbye.